What's up, cousins? This is going to be a recap. Today, we have Anthony, Amber, and the therapist. That's right, it's time for some therapy again. But before Anthony gets there, the therapist shows up and Amber asks the therapist, hey, Anthony had the nerve to ask me out on a date. So the therapist goes, well, that's a good thing, right? And Amber said, are you kidding me? No, that's not a good thing. After everything that you've done to me, and then you just come up to me and ask me for a date like it's all good, like it's gonna be that easy. She said he must think I'm stupid or something. So the therapist says, no, I don't think that he thinks you're stupid. He's your husband and you're his wife. He could have asked anyone and he asked you. Amber says, well, you know what? I wish he would have asked someone else because I don't want him playing with my emotions. I feel like he's playing games like he normally does, and I don't appreciate it. And you know what? Not to be too vulgar, but as soon as Amber turned him down twice and his little feelings was hurt, he ran over there to Shayla to get his little pee-pee wet. So the therapist says, maybe you're making this a little more heavier than it is. Do you get hungry sometimes, and do you sit down and eat? Amber says yes. She said, okay, well, what about sitting down and sharing a meal with your husband? Amber says, no. Why would I do that? I mean, you're a woman, Miss Brown. It's crazy what he did to me. And it's crazy what you did to him too, Amber. He is hurt. You guys just pushed past that. He found out about what you did to him after you guys were married. And you know what? Both of you guys need to take accountability, period. Now, the difference is Amber did not cheat on him after she got married. And he is still with Shayla, calling Amber all in her face, talking about you want a date with her, and then you go and lay between Shayla's legs every other day. Amber tells the therapist, I really wish he would stop flirting with me and flirt with somebody else. The therapist tells her, he is a man. Men make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Amber says, well, how do I stop him from coming on to me? I don't want his advances. The therapist says, well, you know what? There's a lot of decisions that we have to make in life, and I can't make that decision for you. Amber says, well, this is the first session with you that I felt confused. And Miss Brown says, oh, it's not a session. I charge for sessions. And then she makes her way into the house after she fans herself about 10 times because she's trying to tell Amber, I'm hot and we can have this conversation inside. Now, this is 2 episodes in one, cousin. Because now Anthony shows up and we can get to the real meat of the situation. The therapist starts out, so how's everything going today? Anthony says, we're healthy and we're alive, which means she still ain't messing with me in no kind of way. But guess what? I'm here. Now, how are we going to fix this? The therapist says, well, word on the curb is you asked your wife out on a date. He says, yes, I want to do some of the things that we did before we got married. You know, dating, the little things like holding hand. I ain't gonna lie, when Shayla kissed him, when Kai was asleep and he said no and left the house, I was very proud of him. I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe he's serious. But Amber, don't do it. Every time you guys have a disagreement, she's gonna be there in the wings waiting. So he gives his reasons as to why he asked her out on a date. Amber's over there rolling her eyes. She's not feeling any of that. She looks at the therapist and says, you know what? He's a very good orator. He can tell a story. I have sat and watched him close deals, and he knows how to manipulate and get what he wants out of somebody. And I am not for the games. The therapist says, you know what? I want to talk about a thorn that has been in this marriage that both of you guys are sweeping under the rug. And Amber says, what's that? And she says, Wayne. And then Anthony says, oh, yeah, we could talk about that. That's fine. That's understandable. And Amber says, no, why are we going there? Why do we have to go backwards? And so she says, Amber, it's not just for you. It's for Anthony also. You know, maybe it's something he has to say since he was in business with Wayne before he got with you. Anthony says, oh, okay, so what you're saying is if we can get past Wayne, we may be able to get past this. No, because guess what? You can get past this, but there's a baby mama and a baby behind. And I didn't sign up for any of those problems. Let's talk about how you left me and I had 2 kids that have been gone out of my life while you over there smiling in your baby mama face. But anyway, Amber's not happy. The lady said she's leaving. You know they're going to talk about Wayne probably on the next therapy session. And you know what? Anthony's so happy to talk about Wayne. But guess what? Shayla's not too far behind. She's going to bring up Shayla because Wayne is in the past and Shayla is now, today, and tomorrow. All right, cousins, that's a quick recap on Ro Reacts TV of Anthony and Amber and their therapy with Dr. Brown. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next Ro Reacts TV video.